It doesn't matter what triggered or prompted the response or the interaction or the attitude. The whole point of the conversation in that moment is someone stating how they feel. So, yeah, of course, you can rebuttal by saying, "Okay, well, you feel that way. You're upset because I did such and such, but I only did it." You're saying because you're like, "I only did it because you did such and such." But immediately when you do that, you automatically invalidate whatever the person is coming to you about. So hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Life After I Do. I'm your host, Nisha G, and I'm here with my husband. When he's done, um, he'll let you know
Molito.
who he is. Hi,
Oh,
babe.
hey,
Hi.
how I feeling?
Yeah, I said, how are you?
From beginning to end,
365 days in a year.
I need your same old loving,
Baby.
baby. That's how I feel.
I can see your glasses
'Cause
are
all
starting
I
to fog up.
wanna do is hot.
No, it's just because you're drinking a hot
Yeah, this tea
beverage.
is hot.
Well, I
I'll
wish you
take
did
them
have
off.
some hot tea for me.
The
No,
tea-
I meant like
Oh,
drama,
I was
babe.
like, I made it both of us to you. Wow. Hey,
No,
Booskies.
I'm letting mine cool down.
How you feeling, Booskies?
I'm good. I didn't even see what kind of tea you made.
Lemon and mint.
Oh, nice. Lemon ginger.
Yes, and mint.
It's gonna be fire. Did you put honey in it?
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm good. I'm well. Thank you.
How's your week?
Not well rested, but I am.
You the one that like to be a night owl party. That's you.
Oh my goodness
And the thing is that
gracious.
you used to do this even when you were working, but it wasn't as bad. At some
Mhm.
point, you'd be like, "Okay, can I go to sleep?"
That's
Now
how it was when I looked at the clock
right,
this morning. It
but
said
now
2:02. I said, okay,
but,
seriously, you
like,
cannot fall
now
back into this.
but since you've been a stay-at-home parent, you be like, "I'll just nap tomorrow. I'll be
Yeah,
up
but
to."
then the problem is that like
You never get to
I
nap.
never get to.
So
But
you
so
would
then
think
I'm
you
just
so
tired.
then you think you would learn from your lessons.
I know, but it's the way my brain works sometimes.
Alright.
I don't know. That's how my brain works. But yeah, I looked at the clock and it was 2:02. And I was like, okay, seriously, dude, you need to go to bed. And so I laid down to go to bed. And like always, whether I lay down at 7, 9, 11, or 2, my brain
Told you.
was just like
I'm
singing random tunes,
about to get you a
thinking
white
about the day.
I'm about to get you a white noise machine.
No, you know what helps me? I've been listening to classical again. Remember I used to listen to a lot of classical when she was little?
A
Um
white noise.
no. But the other night, what was it? Before we left for Vegas, I had I know I feel like sometimes I look ridiculous in the bed because for
No,
one,
not sometimes, all the time. You the only person that sleep with 14 pillows.
okay, so let me set the scenario for y'all. I got about like 8 pillows behind
14.
me. It's not 14, it's like 8 cuz I like to like sit up and I don't like those little things that like help you sit up in the bed. I like to build my sit up with the pillows. So I've got the pillows and then I've got like my shoulder massager on and I've got like the heat pad massager on my back and then I've got the massage gun for my feet. And I massage my feet because I like that little tingly feeling. Because, like, I guess when all the blood rushes to the surface of the skin and then it leaves it feeling like really good.
Y'all write in
So,
and says tell her how ridiculous she sounds right now.
and then I have like my face mask on up here. So I can only imagine from your point of view what I look like sometimes, like in bed, but it's neither here nor there. But anywho, so I had all my gear on and then I put my headphones on and I put my eye mask on and I had my classical music going while my massagers and my heat pads and stuff were going and I had massaged my feet and stuff.
Mhm.
So I was feeling really good. Like it felt as though I took a sleep aid.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, maybe I need to get back to doing this, like putting my shoulder massager on. The
And
shoulder
you was still
massager
up to
is
2 in the
good
morning.
because it has like the heat to it too. That was a good purchase, thank you. That was one of my best Christmas gifts, thank you. So, I was like, maybe I need to get back to doing, like, my whole, like, body massage thing before bed because that helped, and I slept really, really well.
I'm happy you did.
I did, but last night was not one of those slept well
Okay.
moments, so,
Yeah.
but other than that, had a really good 4th of July. How was your 4th of July?
My 4th of July was great. Y'all know what I showed up for.
Oxtails? He kept talking about those oxtails, and then I'm like, "Finally, we ate oxtails."
That's what I show up for.
I know. The ribs were really good too, though.
I mean, everything I
And
cook is good.
can we talk about my deviled eggs that you
Oh
smoked?
my god, you made one little devil egg, and now you want
I
credit.
mean, you see how he do? He wanted everyone to praise him for his damn oxtails, but then you just gonna completely poo on
Everything
my damn
I didn't completely did you they were good. You like, "This is busted."
now all of a sudden they were
They
good.
were good.
They were alright, they were good.
The mac and cheese was fire too. I'm a mac and cheese person. I said,
Yeah.
"This mac and cheese actually hit today."
Shouts out to my sister-in-law. Mac and cheese was really good. Everything was good.
My
We all
brother's
did
my brother
everything, the greens were
yeah, he
good.
did a good job with them greens. 'Cause sometimes
The hot water
look
cornbread
here,
was good, but if I could provide a little bit of constructive feedback, just the tiniest bit.
sugar,
A little bit of sugar,
you
but it
know
wasn't that. They were so damn thick.
oh, I know
I
that.
was like, you coulda, like, pressed them down in the middle or
Nah,
something a little
nah,
bit because they were like the edges
nah,
were perfect. Like, you
nah,
took a bite
it
and
was
it was, like,
crispy,
the
huh?
nice and
Then
crispy,
they got the sauce
and
on the
then
inside.
you
That's how
it
it's supposed to
wasn't
be.
that's the problem, that's what I'm trying to tell you. They were so thick that it took away from, like, the softness, and it just,
You're not
like
gonna sit here and play my
some of them
cooking,
was a
dude.
little, like, dough-like. But, I mean, once I put them with my yams, I
First
had
of
no
all,
problem.
I'm batting 1,000. Everything I cook be fire, nigga.
I'm just happy that you actually had time to take your time to cook them properly because when you don't be having proper time or when you do that thing where you cook and sit, it don't be good. But when you actually are like in it to win it,
Well, I was cooking it for myself, so I had to make sure it was fire.
wow, not your wife, huh?
You eat my food all the time.
Oh my
You don't appreciate when I
gosh.
cook.
Since when?
I cook, you be like, "Well, I'm finna go get me a
That
acai bowl."
you shouldn't eat
You and them damn acai bowls.
first of all, you shouldn't lie because I appreciate when you cook. I love when you cook. It's one of the reasons like I love you. Like, I love the
Because
fact that you
I'm the only
cook.
person in the house that can cook soul food.
Um,
Your mama didn't teach you
it's
nothing.
so early for you to be coming for me.
I'm not coming for
And
you.
because I'm also borderline sleepy, you know my comebacks are just like they're gonna be very sharp and your feelings get hurt easily. So I really think on best
I think the
advisement
fact of the matter is
that
that
you shouldn't come for me so early.
I've spoken nothing but factual statements, and to the point that you don't really know how to cook soul food
Oh,
because
okay.
your mother never really taught you.
Okay.
I
All
will
right.
say your baked beans were fire.
Oh,
And now
okay.
I said, "Oh, when I taste the baked beans," I said, "So I don't have to invite her mom over no more for these beans."
And then when I make my mac and cheese and stuff, that's not fire either, right?
Your mac and cheese
Y
be good,
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
not a big
Okay.
mac and cheese
But
person.
I think you're confusing, like, soul food with me not wanting to cook the meats.
I ain't never seen
That's what it is.
I ain't never
Because
seen that. Hold on,
I
hold
don't
on.
hold on, no, I'm not done. I don't like to cook the meats because I like for you to cook the meats.
Okay.
That's why. And times where I have also said where I would cook the meats, like cooking the whole meal, you'll be like, "No, I'll do the meats." So you never even like I've never even made you ribs. You don't even know what my ribs taste like.
I wouldn't trust them.
You wouldn't trust my ribs?
No,
Why? Why?
no.
Okay. You keep that energy. Cause now that you said that, I'm gonna make you a separate meal. I'm gonna make Phoenix and I a slab of ribs.
Okay.
Okay? I'm gonna make us a slab of ribs. They are gonna smell good, they're gonna be delectable, and I don't want to see you eating not one rib. Not one rib because you're not gonna trust it. So when you smell it and you see us over here at the table chowing down, I don't want to hear anything. I want you to sit there and enjoy your turkey burger. I want I want you to enjoy your turkey burger because I mean, according to you, I make a mean turkey burger. So I'm gonna
They
make
be
you.
fire. They
So
do be
when I
fire.
make Phoenix and I ribs, I'm gonna purposely that night make sure I make you a
Okay.
very nice turkey burger, and you're gonna sit at the table and eat your turkey burger. Phoenix and I are gonna have ribs. We're gonna have mac
Okay.
and cheese. We're gonna have baked beans. I'm gonna make you turkey burger and fries, and I'm gonna
Okay.
say because Daddy said that I can't make soul food. And daddy said that he would not trust my slab of ribs.
Okay, this is what I will do.
Okay. What will you do?
I believe it's Labor Day is coming up soon,
I'm
or whatever it is.
not
Yeah,
making anything.
Labor Day. I'm gonna allow you to eat. No, Labor Day. Labor Day, you cook the whole meal,
I'm
and then
not
we'll
making
see.
anything. You've already told me that you don't trust my cooking when it comes to the meat. You've also just stated that I don't know how to cook soul food and that I was never taught how to cook soul food.
You ain't never cooked made it for me.
So, I've never made it for you?
Oh, I take that back.
I've never made it for you?
One time you made some greens and
One
you made
time.
greens and it was with the greens, hot water
Oh my
cornbread,
gosh.
and something else.
How was your 4th, babe? Because you are just gonna continue to dig yourself into a hole, and I would just hate to see that for you.
My pork was great. I hung out with my Zara Poo
Mhm.
and my
That's
Zan
his niece.
and my Zanny Poo,
That's his nephew.
and my daughter was Jelly.
Not really.
Yeah, she was.
She was playing with her cousins.
She was Jelly.
Anywho. Yeah, but it was a really good,
It
like
was good to it was good to see my brother
mhm.
and my
The trip was
sister-in-law.
good.
Yeah.
Traffic wasn't bad at all,
Hey,
and
what
that's
is
also because we left before there was traffic.
traffic wasn't bad for you because you didn't drive.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it takes a lot to be a passenger too.
What we got today, babe?
Oh, it does take a lot to be a passenger.
We got
I
to
think the Delulu starting to come out because I didn't get enough hours.
First of all, we are adults. Say the whole word.
Really? Really? We're not gonna talk about adults and words.
For shiggity.
Yeah. We're adults.
That's adult slang.
That's okay, babe. Whatever.
What we got today, baby?
We've got a video from TikTok that I think is super relatable to most, if not all, married couples or
Because
people in relationship. Why are you looking at me that way?
it looked like you couldn't turn your neck.
Because I can't. No, it looks that way because I can't turn my neck. I can't turn my neck. That's why that's why it looks like when I turn to look at you and it's like my back is up straight cuz keeping my back up straight gives me a little bit more leeway to turn to my side, but it's like you can see that I'm turning my shoulders when I turn to look at
Just play the
you. I
video.
can't.
Just play
No, it's because I've got like a crook right here. That's
the
because I didn't use my massager. I should have used my massager. But also, I just want to say really quick, when you're sleeping with as many pillows as I sleep with, if you like the pillows are like propped up at an angle to kind of keep me up at an angle, but through the night I like to like I guess I scooch down and I get like flatter flatter to like lay on my back or my side. So when I'm laying down on all those pillows, it's like my neck is upright, but then my body is flat, so it creates like this gap in between my hips. And so when I wake up in the morning, it's like either my lower back will hurt or like my neck will get caught in some weird
just play the
position.
video.
So I'm just saying,
You
like, be
see
careful when you're sleeping with that many
you still
pillows.
trying to justify these 18 pillows you got behind you.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. And you know what's weird is I used to be a stomach sleeper. Now if I
Oh
sleep on
yeah.
my stomach, oh my gosh, it's terrible when I
I
wake up in the
I
morning.
missed those stomach days because you was wide open.
Okay, I'm gonna play the video now because I don't know where that came from. Are you ready?
The moment that your spouse brings something to your attention, when they want you to address it, they want you to adjust, they want you to work on something, this is not your moment to also bring forward something that you want them to address that you've been keeping in your back pocket. Hold it. I know it doesn't feel good, and I know you want to get your part out as well, but it's not your moment. So just sit with it. Internally look at what you need to do and what you need to address. Validate how they feel. They're not saying it for no reason. It holds weight. This is not a tit for tat moment. Marriage is not transactional. It's not, oh, I'll give you this, so you give me that. Marriage is you give and you give and you give. And you fill the other person's cup. And they should also be filling yours. But it's not, oh, I'll only fill yours if you fill mine. Do your very best to not keep score. Don't hold something in your back pocket just to bring it out in the middle of an argument that you want them to also address something. You'll have your time to tell them what you need from them. But when they're telling you what they need, give them that moment. It'll mean the world. And you
Mm,
Right? So I when I heard it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's like I feel like that's everybody." I feel like sometimes it can be a natural reaction too if it's not something that you kind of work at, because I know we've been there before.
mhm,
We've had those types of discussions. Um But I do think it's something that you have to be aware of that you do. And what made me really wanna, like, kinda dive into this is I wonder where that kind of comes from. Like, when someone is telling you how they feel, or if someone is telling you, like, "You've made me feel this way," or "Your actions created this, this feeling in me," or "This was my reaction because of,"
mhm.
I wonder where the natural instinct to be like, "Well, you did such and such." If that's something that you've been feeling, if that's something you've been feeling, but you never brought it up, but you thought that the opportunity to bring it up was when I brought something to your attention, it's like, I think in most people's minds, it's like, I'm not going to let you sit here and tell me all the things that I'm doing wrong when you think you're like not doing anything wrong. So it's kind of like defensive.
Mm.
People get defensive. What do you think?
Um, I agree and disagree with everything you said,
Okay.
okay?
Okay. Tell me about what you agree with.
I agree with everything you said,
Okay.
right? The
Okay.
only part I disagree with is that the tit for tat, I do think that they're situational, that's a situational thing, because if you're coming to me, telling me or complaining about a situation or something I've done, and the reason why I've done that was a direct reaction to something you done, so it was a cause and effect type situation, then that should be addressed.
I disagree because that literally defeats the whole purpose of what's being said.
Well,
So that's what I'm saying. Like, how could you say that and then also say that you agree with everything he said? Because the whole
because
purpose,
I'm saying that I'm not saying that that's true all the time.
I understand. No, I
I'm
know you're
saying
saying it's like
that
situational, but
right,
what I'm
right.
saying is
I'm
in the moment, it does not matter. Like, it doesn't matter what triggered or
well, I'm not gonna
prompted.
tell
Hold
you it.
on. It doesn't matter what triggered or prompted the response or the interaction or the attitude. The whole point of the conversation in that moment is someone stating how they feel. So, yeah, of course, you can rebuttal by saying, "Okay, well, you feel that way. You're upset because I did such and such, but I only did it." You're saying because you're like, "I only did it because you did such and such." But immediately when you do that, you automatically invalidate whatever the person is coming to you about. So that's
Okay,
why it doesn't make sense, even if it's situational.
what I'm saying is I wouldn't tell you in that moment,
You just said a
but
second ago.
I'm saying like my initial reaction is like if you come to me like, "Hey, babe, when you did this," I was like, "When you did such and such," and I'm like, "Well, I only did such and such because this was placed before,
And
right?"
immediately when you do that,
I understand that. I understand that. Look. I understand that that reaction is defensive because
you're trying to justify.
I'm not trying to justify. I'm being
That's exactly what you're
okay.
doing.
I'm being defensive, and I'm saying like I only did that because this happened before, so I thought this was the way to go about it. That's why
Exactly.
I said it's situational because sometimes so I'm sorry. Sometimes, like I'll react in a way that maybe you didn't expect or don't agree with, but I'm reacting in a sense where I thought it was the best way for me to react, like the most, like I guess, genuine way to react to this whatever the situation may be. I don't have an example off my head because I feel like really haven't had that many arguments lately. Good for you.
Like in the past, like, couple of months?
Yeah, I don't think we.
Not that I can think of. I
No,
mean, I'm sure there was, like, little spats because we always have, like, those, like,
now we're gonna have one tomorrow because we
but
said this.
not we haven't had, like, any major,
No,
like,
no. So it's like
discussion
it's
things,
hard for
but
me to draw an example, but I do believe
okay,
in.
how about that time? Because that one always sticks out of my head when we were in your office and you were asking me to do something, and I kept asking you questions for clarification as to why you wanted me to do it because it didn't make sense. Like, you had wanted me.
That's not me complaining about you doing something.
No, but I had spoken to you about how I didn't appreciate how you spoke to me when I was asking questions. And instead of you, like, taking that, sitting with it and being like, "You know what? I apologize," or taking the accountability to be like, "You know what? I may have been a bit
Mhm.
harsh and I do apologize, I'm sorry. Immediately you followed it up with, well, it's because, and then not only did you follow it up with a justification for your actions and not taking accountability as I'm telling you how it made me feel, you also like invalidated my feelings because you tried to justify why you spoke to me that way.
Oh,
So
and I
therefore,
don't see, and I see that completely different.
I know you see it completely different. I am very much
Completely
aware
different.
how you see that completely different because it's the justification part. Like you
I don't have to justify
no,
anything I
that's
did.
what but that's what you do, babe. When you give the reason, when you're giving the reason, well, if when I came to you and I was like, "Babe, you know what? I feel like you were like really disrespectful. You hurt my feelings and it wasn't necessary for you to speak to me that way because I was asking you questions about something." Instead of you just being like, "This is her feelings. She's coming to me with something." You immediately felt attacked. You got defensive. You got another attitude. And then you further tried to justify why you spoke to me that way
Because
because
I
you
don't see
didn't.
why you come in here aiming for me though.
I wasn't aiming for you. I was asking you
No,
questions.
you walked in with the smoke.
No, I did not. No, I walked into the office because you called me. You called me, and I was like, okay, let me answer my husband who is summoning me. I came into your office. You handed me a debit card or something or whatever, and you're like, I need you to go to the bank. I need you to do X, Y, and Z, whatever. And I had said, I can't even remember what the thing was, but I know you needed me to go to the bank or whatever. You wanted me to move money around. And I had remember asking, I said, oh, well, why do I need to move money from this bank to this bank or something like that when this one is fine or something? I can't remember the exact details. And you pursed your lips together. You're like, and you took a deep breath
Mhm.
and you were like, because and I need you to can you please just stop asking me questions? Like, and I was just taken back. I'm
Mm.
like, okay, like I'm just asking questions for
It
clarification.
sounded like whatever I was asking you was highly important in that moment.
Okay, but that's fine. I needed clarification as to why you needed me to do that. And it
I
didn't
remember this
warrant.
now because
Hold on.
my mindset was you should
No.
just trust me.
No, and no, you were annoyed with the fact that I asked you questions. That's because
You don't question me.
that was also part of when you were trying to justify why you spoke to me that way. And you were like, "I don't understand why you have to ask me so many questions. Just do what I'm asking you to do." And my response to you, like, and the thing is when I came to you to tell you how it made me feel, I was very conscious in how I came to you because
No, you wasn't.
I wanted you to understand like how I felt, and then you came with the smoke. And you know what happens when I feel like you're giving me attitude, even when I'm trying to come to you with my feelings. Cause now it's just like, okay, if this is what you want, you obviously like an aggressive wife. So now
Don't tell people everything.
goodbye. So, but the whole point is what I'm trying to say is like he's saying in the video, that's not a time it's not a time to justify the actions.
Mm.
It's not a time to pull something out of your back pocket about what you feel like your partner has done or what they've done in the past or what you've been putting up with or anything like that. If your partner is coming to you and saying, "Hey, can we talk?" Yes, let's talk. You know what? I've been feeling like X, Y, and Z. I've been feeling like you don't do this, or whatever the case is,
Mhm.
that's not a time for you to take what they're telling you, put it on the ground, put your foot on it, stomp it, squish it into the ground, and then say, now let me tell you about yourself. Cause that's it literally what it feels like.
Is that how you felt?
That's how I felt.
Oh, I apologize.
you're, so, you're so full of oh, I apologize.
I didn't mean to stop all your little feelings.
My really? Seriously? I didn't mean to stomp on your little
I
feelings.
was just playing. I did that's not how I wanted to be perceived. I just needed something. I remember this now because it was like
Okay, it's all coming back to me.
because now it was something where it's like I need this done in the moment. I don't need to. I don't. I'll explain to you after you do what you do.
No, that's the conversation that you had with yourself in your head.
Right.
Do you see the problem?
Yeah.
You had that conversation with yourself in the head. Had you said, "Babe, can you just get this done for me and then I'll let you know?"
I should have to, but see, I should have
But
to jump through all these hoops.
no, but it's not about jumping through hoops. It's not about jumping through hoops because the thing is like you were asking me something. You were telling me to do something that regarded our finances, right?
Mhm.
I wanted to know what was going on because those are my finances.
Okay.
So I deserve to know. I need to know. Like I want to know why you're moving this amount of money over here or you're moving this amount of money over there or you want me to take out this. I need to know
So I can pay my side chick.
why the money is moving.
So I can pay my side chick. I'm taking a side trip day. Gotta make sure she's happy too.
I question my existence sometimes. I really do. I question my existence. Anywho, but it
And
wasn't like it
okay,
was just something that it wasn't important. It obviously was
okay.
important.
And I will
Our
say,
money is important, so
okay,
therefore I deserve to know. If you just would have said, "Babe, this is time sensitive. Can you just really just go and get this done for me really quick and then when you come back like I can tell you about it," or anything along that line. But
mhm.
you had that conversation in your head. Right? And
Why you gotta point at me like that?
what I got was attitude. What I got was this is how you made me feel like this is a little aggressive. But this is what you made me feel like. You were basically trying to say without saying it, bitch, just shut up and do what I'm asking you to do.
That's exactly
That's
what I was trying
literally
to
what
say.
you were telling me.
Yes.
I know.
And you didn't listen. That's
I
the problem.
know. But that doesn't fly with me cuz if it did then it would
It
like
don't fly with you?
it didn't fly. If it did, then we wouldn't have had the follow-up
It didn't
conversation.
fly that time.
It doesn't fly. It hasn't flown for 22 years. So
Stop the cap.
so don't do that.
Stop big booing.
Um so yeah, but I'm just saying like that's fine if what you were trying to say was this is time sensitive. I need this done right now. If you have questions or like, we can talk about it later. But don't get upset like I don't have a right to ask you about our money.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. And I
Oh,
do quite often.
oh, okay.
Yeah, like don't Demel, don't play with me. Don't I'm not in the mood. I'm borderline sleepy. My tea is gonna make me hungry. Like, don't play with me. Stop playing with me, okay?
Okay.
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 But anywho, I can't with you. But
Oh,
anywho,
okay.
in that moment, you basically just like
In that moment.
you shitted on my
That's
feelings when I came to you
one.
to ask to tell you about
So
how that made me feel.
1 out of 1,000,000 times I messed up. That's a pretty good average.
No, 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 no. No, no,
I
no.
take accountability
Let's
for
not
that
no. No. No.
because I do be trying to validate your feelings around here.
You have your moments.
I do.
You definitely have your moments.
I be trying to. I do my best to try to validate your feelings around here.
I didn't say you didn't do your best and I didn't say that you never validate my feelings. That's not what I'm saying. But I know and I'm sure I'm the same,
You never do.
but
Go ahead and sip your tea because you don't want to talk about the
I just
truth.
want to throw my tea at you.
Yeah.
I never validate your feelings.
Nope.
Ever.
Never.
Ever.
Never.
Really?
I don't have feelings. I have facts.
Okay.
You don't have to validate facts.
Now you see what I put up with. Because I don't because here's the thing. I don't have to say anything. You say everything that makes you look really, really like
I just be playing.
outputting, okay?
I just be playing with you. But I
um
mean, we don't have a. We honestly, we don't really have a lot. We have not had a lot of issues
recently, no.
recently, and even most of the issues in the past didn't really regard us. It really regarded mostly dealing with people outside.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, but just I'm talking about just when those conversations come up. Like when you call me and you be like, we need to talk.
yeah, we gonna talk about it.
Okay, let's talk. I sit, I listen.
Uh-huh. Do you act?
What do you mean do I act?
Do you implement anything after the talk is over?
So, because of your last piece of feedback from a pretty big discussion that we had, what was it? Later last year, earlier this year, whatever. When you and a prime example actually would be the other night. When you come to me with things, you would always say like what do you say? I would somehow turn the situation around and make it about me, right? So I'm
All
like,
the
okay,
time.
Okay, so you feel like I'm not listening to you. So when you speak, like I've asked you before, when we have those types of conversations, are you looking for me to respond? Are you looking for me to comfort you? Are you like what are you looking for? That's why I literally always ask you those questions. Always ask you those questions because I don't know sometimes what it is you're looking for. Are you looking just to unload because that's you're just having a moment of emotion right now and I can just support you by holding you and hugging you and reassuring you? Like what is it that you need? So, when you come to me with certain things and you're like, "Babe, I'm feeling like this and I'm feeling like that." What do? I get quiet. And like the other night, you were like, "So you have nothing to say?" What is it that you want me to say? Because if I say something right now, I don't know how it's going to be perceived because I'm not sure what type of moment this is.
I was
You
pouring
were
my
you were
heart out
pouring your heart out
to
to
you.
me, so I was. And what did I do? I held you.
I was vulnerable.
Yep, you were vulnerable, so I was like,
Never again.
okay. He's been saying that for 22 years.
Never again.
So you were telling me how you felt. So we were laying down. I held you. I kissed your forehead. I was trying to like reassure you in a physical sense because if I say something like I don't know, like maybe I'm gonna try to be trying to lift your spirits, and then that backfires. Or I say something and now you're taking it as me trying to make the situation about myself. So I'm just like, okay, I want you to feel heard. So I'm just going to listen. I'm
Mm.
going to let you, like you say, pour your heart out and I'm going to try to reassure
But if I
you
do that, then
physically.
you be like, "Why you not saying nothing?"
I don't say that. I don't say that. You know I don't. Don't do that.
You be like, "I just need."
Don't do that.
First of
See, you
all
doing it.
first of
You're
all
doing it.
first of all, you hit me with the, "I just need you to hold me." I'm like, "Okay, let me."
Okay, right, and then when I say I just need you to hold me, and then when I start talking, it's because I just like how I just said I try to give you reassurance through the physical,
Mm.
that is you giving me the reassurance through the physical. I don't necessarily need you to respond, and that's fine.
But sometimes you be
But
looking
I
for me to
I
respond.
sometimes I look for you to respond, but when I do look for you to respond, I ask you.
Okay.
That's like that's what I'm trying to
I
say.
don't know why you coming for me today.
Oh my gosh, no one's coming for you. We're simply having a discussion.
You kinda riled up.
I'm I'm not riled up.
No more Tanner for you.
Tanner?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No more, Buckle Bunny for you.
Oh my gosh, cut it out. You're being ridiculous. But yeah, so it's like I don't know what like what I should say if I should say anything. So I just try to reassure you through holding
Mm,
you, hugging you, kissing your forehead, trying to make you feel safe, try to make you feel like wanted.
mm,
But I mean, going back to the topic at hand, if you were to say all of those things to
mhm.
me like you did the other night, right? And then I came back around and I said something to the contrary, or I tried to or worse, I tried to like not justify or oversimplify how you felt. Like if you're telling me like, "Oh, I'm feeling like this," and I came back with, "Well, you're probably feeling that way, babe, because you don't do X, Y, and Z."
Mm,
How would that feel? That would feel like I've shitted on your feelings. That would feel like I just put them on the ground,
mhm,
got on my heaviest boot, and like rammed it into the ground.
mhm,
Would it not?
mhm.
Would it not?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
But it's expected. It's the life of a man.
oh my gosh, you're not gonna do that. I will get up and go to go to sleep right now. I will get up and leave and go to sleep right now. Cut it out. That is not the life of a man.
To be
Stop that.
misunderstood, that is life of a man.
That is not the life of a man. Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it. That is a human experience, if anything, but not the life of a man. So cut it out.
Okay.
Stop rubbing my thigh.
They didn't need to know that.
Yeah, they did.
To go back to the video, like I said, yeah, you need to validate your partner's feelings in the moment. I do feel like in the moment you have to validate, and then that's why I said later you have the discussion, right? I do feel like sometimes the validation is valid because that's how they're feeling in the moment, and what they feel is real. You have to let them know that they're not crazy. Their reality is their reality, and their feelings are true to them. So in that moment, you validate them, and
Their
then
feelings are true to them.
yeah,
Okay.
they're their feelings.
Okay. No, their perception is their reality
Right.
is basically what you're saying, yeah.
I can't assume your feelings,
Correct.
you know. But and then later, like I was saying before I was rudely cut off, later later later,
We're gonna have to run the tape back because 'cause I'm
yeah,
pretty sure you cut me off
and
first.
she did it again. Later, did you have the in-depth conversation about the cause the cause and effects that led to that situation so that you don't get back to that point again, or that you at least have the groundwork installed to limit getting back to that point again?
Okay, so when you say then later you have the conversation about the cause and effect, does it have to be something about does it have to be something where we have to revisit a play by play? Can't it just be you taking whatever the issue is that your partner brought to you and saying, "Okay, usually it's like how like somebody made you feel, right?" Because I see what you're saying. You're trying to say you're saying that there is a reason
It's
for
cause and effect for everything.
okay, I get that. But if I'm just going to use this as an example. If I'm simply just coming to you and I'm saying I didn't like the way you spoke to me,
Okay,
okay? Put that in like just put that in a little shell. It was just the communication.
okay,
It was how you communicated,
okay.
right? For me in my brain, that doesn't warrant a we got to go back through the steps so I can justify
I
what hold on. Nope. See how you're about to cut me off? That doesn't warrant a justification for you speaking to me in a disrespectful manner. Stop touching my thigh. That doesn't warrant you justifying why you spoke to me in a disrespectful manner because the point is that
the
in
communication.
the way you spoke to me,
Mhm,
I felt was disrespectful or rude. So just taking that portion and just saying,
mhm.
doesn't matter that you were upset. Doesn't matter that you were short tempered, angry. It doesn't matter. Take that point out and just look at what it is I'm bringing to you and saying, my communication and delivery is what she had an issue with. So, duly noted. When I'm in a situation where I'm either flustered or I'm pressed for time, I need to be more mindful with my delivery and my communication to my wife. Boom. That's it.
And
Hold on. It doesn't have to be, and why does it always have to be like, okay, the next day you'll come and be like, the reason why I spoke to you like you were a child was because I was pressed for time and because I was upset. Like that is completely irrelevant. The only thing the issue was how you spoke to me. So let's just make the adjustment. How you spoke to me was the problem. Duly noted in my mind. Okay, next time I got to be more mindful of how I speak to my wife. I do apologize that you felt that I disrespected you with my tone. That wasn't my intention. I apologize. Okay, that's it.
can I respond now?
Go ahead.
Okay.
This man.
As I was saying before
Mhm.
I was rudely interrupted,
You were not interrupted.
um, when it's a situation where it's just about how things were communicated, that doesn't warrant a conversation. I'm talking about when it's a situation when there were actions taken. Like things were done. Not necessarily not just said, but done. Right?
Okay.
That's when you communicate. That's when you have the conversation about why you reacted and did this thing in reaction to something else being done previously and why those course of events played
Took
out.
place.
Right. So
Okay.
that way you both can understand where you both were at mentally
Mhm.
during that whole process. Now, if you're coming to me saying, I don't like the way you spoke to me, then yeah, that's just something where I have to receive it. I have to validate you and I have to make the adjustments to speak to you in a tone in which you would, or in a tone in which you can hear me. Because my goal is always to be heard. Because if I'm not heard, you don't understand what I'm saying. So I don't want you to be defensive or feel like you're not um, being taken seriously. So I have to talk to you in a tone in which um I can be heard so the message can be received. That I agree with you with. What I'm referring to are the situations in which there's things out where it's more than just communication, where this action had taken place, and then because of this action took place, you took this action, and then I took this action.
Mhm.
And then now we get to the point to where now we're saying, "Well, you did this, you did," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's when we
the back
have
and forth.
that's when you go, "Okay, I'm gonna receive how you feeling now, but later
Mhm.
we're gonna have a conversation." So that way we don't set off this chain event
Mhm.
again.
So that we have a better understanding, like,
Right,
next time, depending on what the situation is, so
right,
that we have a better understanding next time.
right.
That I can receive. Now my question to you is, at what time do you think is best to have that conversation?
When you're both well rested,
Not like today.
sometimes it may be in a couple hours, it may be in a couple days. It may be a couple weeks. But I think it's still a conversation.
For you, it's, at least a week.
Oh, yeah.
At least a week.
Yeah, let me calm down. 'Cause when I see you want smoke, I give you all the smoke. I ain't got no off switch.
Don't let this man fool y'all. Get your hand off my thigh. Don't let this man fool y'all.
You the one got your thigh out, I'm touching it.
I can't. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's why I wanted to talk about this clip because I think it happens pretty much. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say if you're in a relationship, this has probably
This
happened.
happens with your
Th-
dogs.
With your dogs?
Yeah, they don't listen, you talk to them
Good damn
respectfully,
bye, Maurice.
and then they give them puppy eyes.
Good damn bye,
They
Maurice.
give them puppy eyes, you be like, "Oh."
Yeah, so I would just say for me, I
Personally.
would just say if your partner is coming to you with a concern or about a situation and how it made them feel, allow them the space to tell you how they feel. Okay? It's really hard to not get defensive when you feel like somebody is coming for you or when you feel like that they're trying to point out a weak spot
When
in
you know
you.
they coming for you.
Yeah, well, no, and I think that's the problem. Like you can't express how you feel without creating a negative emotion in somebody else. But that has more to do with like think about it. That has more to do with them than it does with the person telling their feelings.
You be coming for me,
No, I don't come for you. I don't come for
but I
you.
be sending for you.
But in my perspective, if I'm telling you how you have either negatively affected me emotionally or I'm coming to you and I'm trying to express a concern and your first line of reaction is to be defensive, for me, that tells me that either A, that is something that you have thought about yourself and you're just more annoyed that I've now brought it to your attention because now someone else can see it. That's this is me. Or what A or B is that it's conflicting.
Wait, did you forget the alphabet?
No, I didn't know if I had said one or if I said A. Or B, it's conflicting with how you perceive yourself. Because
Mm.
that happens a lot. Like if when I come to you and say something to you about like where I feel like you dropped the ball or I felt like, you could have handled this situation better or your decision making skills weren't up to par on this. You get hella defensive.
Mm.
You get defensive because I think and I'm not you, so this is my perception. I think you probably feel as though like I'm trying to say that I'm saying something about you in contrast to how you think of yourself.
Mm.
Right? So if you think of yourself as a great decision maker and you think of yourself as a go-getter and you think of yourself as someone who has it all together and I come to you and say, "Hey babe, like I don't think you made the right play last month on such and such or I don't think your decision making skills have been up to par lately or I feel like something is a little off." That contradicts with how you see yourself.
Mhm.
So, of course, you're gonna get defensive because you're like, "Nah, boo. Like,
Mm.
when it comes to making decisions, that's what I do." And now you're trying to tell me that I haven't been making good decisions. That creates an internal conflict. So again, that has more to do with the other person than it does with the person trying to express how they feel. That is ego.
Okay.
Remove the ego, be able to create a space for your partner
Mm.
for them to express themselves without recoil,
Mm.
without being made to feel like they've done something wrong, or
Okay.
you pulling something out of your back pocket from days, weeks, or years ago to
Mm.
also have something to say, "Oh, you wanna jab me? Here, I got something back here too I can jab you with. You're not, like, perfect." You know what I mean? So I think, for me, in conclusion, it's just about creating a safe space for your partner to express themselves. And when your partner does express themselves, take that. Even if it's difficult, even if it's hard to hear, even if you don't agree with it, like you said, that's their reality. That their perception is their reality. Their feelings are valid because they're their feelings. So you're going to have to take that. Take it, sit with it a little bit, let it marinate, then look to see what the best course of action is from there without invalidating everything they just expressed to you.
I just want to ask, do you feel like you have a safe space?
Sometimes.
I love that for you.
Bye, Maurice. Bye. Goodbye.
I love that for you.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Really happy you have that.
Thanks. Thanks. Thank you so much. I can't stand you. I can't, there's not a serious bone in your body.
Yes, it is. I'm serious about you. I don't play about my wife.
Bye. Okay.
My kid,
Uh, she a little.
yeah. Sometimes she be like, "Is that my
I
kid?"
did. You know what? I don't know. This is so off topic, but she's getting on this kick where
Mm.
she's kind of like dogging on you a little bit. She'll be
All
like,
the time.
she was like, "Daddy's such a grumpy old man, right, Mom?" And then the way she tries to rope me
Yeah,
into it,
yeah.
I be like, "Okay, well, this is not going to be a bashing session about your dad." Just
She been on me all week.
she was like, "Mom." I was like, "What?" He's such a grumpy old man, right,
She
Mom?
told me the other day, she said, "Dad, you're so old. Look at all the gray in your face." I said, "You don't sit your little ass down."
She has been coming for you lately. I don't know why. I don't know why.
She gonna be real sad when it's time to buy school clothes
And
and she
then
don't
did you
get
hear
nothing.
her when she was like, "You have to clean up after yourself. We
Yeah,
can't do it all the time,
yeah,
Dad."
right.
I said, "When did she learn French?" I said, "We? When did she learn French?"
She been telling me all week, "You have to listen to your wife." Your wife said, I know what my wife said.
But
Sit
you
your
know,
ass
I
down.
think I think that came from because what was I doing? I think I was straightening up or something. I was going upstairs and somebody had left something on the staircase or whatever, and I picked it up and she was there and I was like, "Ugh." And she was like, "What's wrong, Mom?" I was like, "I'm not you and Dad's maid. Like, you guys need to pick up things when you see it." I was like, I'm not your guys' maid." And she goes, "Oh, Mom, I'm sorry. Dad never picks up after himself." I was like, "Phoenix,
Stop the cat.
stop. We're not doing that. That's not what I meant."
You're literally here turning my own child against me while I'm at work.
I was like, "That is not what I meant." But I said "you guys,"
You,
but for some reason, she thought that was just like, "That's
she's not a
Dad."
guy.
That was just Dad, and then that's why she'd be like,
You guys hear this? I'm working 60 hours a week and she's over
"Goodbye.
here turning my child against me.
Goodbye. Nobody turning your child against you. Cut it out." Okay, so let's hop right on into your favorite segment.
Your favorite segment.
Our 2 cents. Okay.
Some of this should be wild.
Okay, let's see. Well, you as a father, I'm really curious to
Oh
hear
my
your
God.
feedback about this. Okay. So here we go. Am I the asshole for going against my husband? I'm a 35-year-old female and I've been married to my husband, who's a 36-year-old male, for 5 years now. And we've always had differences in how we view modesty. My husband is extremely conservative and has strict beliefs about what my daughter, who's 13 years old, cannot wear. He doesn't allow her to wear clothes that show her shoulders or
Mm,
anything that he deems too revealing.
right.
This has
Preach.
extended to the point where he does not even let her visit friends because he doesn't trust them. Recently, this has started to take a toll on her emotionally and socially. She has begun to feel isolated and resentful towards everyone around, including me and my husband. Last week, I finally had had enough. I let her go out to visit her friends for a few hours, and I also let her wear what she was comfortable in. Now he's giving me the silent treatment, and I'm not sure how to proceed. So, am I the asshole? Also, for edit, no, I did not know he was like this from the start before we married, My daughter was about 8 and they got along pretty well. And he was a nice guy. He just turned like this over time, and it has been almost 6 months now and a few days after her 13th birthday. I'm trying all I can do to prevent this from my daughter.
Oh, so it's not his daughter.
I don't know. I guess not.
Oh,
Yeah, so they what it said that they were married for 5 years.
okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's not his daughter. She just turned 13. He's been raising her since she was 8,
well, I mean,
and he has very
it's
strict views on modesty.
it's always different from a male perspective, right? Because we
Uh-huh.
don't understand how males think.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Mhm.
So the things that a lot of times women find insignificant are significant because,
Mhm.
like I said, just like with like if you have an Instagram, like I told you, like
Mhm.
there's a real chance that there's a pervert out there taking screenshots
Right. Right.
and you know what I'm saying
And
because
we talked about that,
right.
yeah. I
So
think that was a concern for both of us, but also because her Instagram is also set up for her dance and, like, her gym.
yeah,
So, like, posting her in her leotards, posting her in her dance
right.
wear is, like, a huge
So
concern.
because you know the world the world reminds you quite often that there's a lot of perverts out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say that he is being a little extreme because
What part?
why about the clothing and the hang out, especially the hang out with friends,
Okay.
because I don't think he understands that what he's doing is creating a ticking time bomb because once she's free,
Yeah.
she gonna be all the way
She's
free.
not gonna have, like, that,
She's gonna try
that
to
gauge.
she's gonna try to do everything she couldn't do, right?
Yeah.
So and I also don't believe in stifling her, individualism. Like let her be her own person
Yeah.
and you just have to trust and believe that what you have instilled in her are the right things
Mhm.
because you're not going to be able to control her forever.
You can't see her
And
forever.
I also feel like this is another one of those situations where you have to look in the future and be like, do you want to have a relationship with her in the future? Because she might become grown and now she don't have to interact with you. And now that maybe that's another angle you got to look at. Like, are you going to want to be in her life going forward? Because she can turn 18 and choose not to deal with you. So you have to be able as a parent, and I understand it's hard because it's hard for me.
Yeah.
You have to be able to give them more and more rope every year they get older, right? That's not to say that you don't ring it back in when they out there wilding, or they just doing the most. But at some point, you have to let her be who she is,
Yeah.
and you have to understand. A lot of times, like especially because it goes with the times. I feel like this is a generational thing. Every generation,
It is.
every generation, the kids are like they're worse than your generation. I would
The
never,
clothing is
right?
just not right.
Right,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
mean, if I look at like, you know, g girls my daughter age wore when I was her age, they look like kids. Now they look like little moms, you know what I'm saying? And
Now they
now
look like little
right,
moms
right, because they're out there
with
and
crop tops.
they're out there with their crop tops and they're like, to me, I'm like, "No, my daughter don't wear all that crap." You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like you still want her to have her own self.
And express
You want her to
herself.
be able to say, "This is who I
Yeah.
am."
This is my
let her
style.
be who she is.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think it's a balance of trying to create like a space for her to show her individual self, especially through her clothing. Don't
Mhm,
touch my thigh. Especially through clothing because that's how kids start to express themselves, right?
mhm,
Through their clothes, through
mm,
their style. They're trying to figure out what their style is,
mm,
or they want to be socially acceptable with their friends,
mhm,
so they want to wear the same things that their friends are wearing.
mhm,
I do think that it could be one of those things that we could have a conversation too, and it's like I don't want you just following the herd.
mhm,
Like if this is your genuine style, okay, that's fine. If you want to wear something off the shoulder, we can wear something off the shoulder, but make sure we have like a spaghetti strap or something too
mhm,
that still shows.
mhm.
Like I don't want it to look like you're just wearing like a strapless bra or
Yeah,
something. Like maybe there can be some type of compromise. You know
mhm.
what I mean? Without just saying no.
And the
Without just saying like no, you don't wear shorts. No, you cannot wear your shoulder out. No,
I would say the whole thing about her friends is get to know her friends' parents, so you kinda understand
yeah.
what goes on over there
Yeah.
because there's situations to where I feel safe. I feel like my child will be safe over there even when I'm not there. I feel like I have
Mhm.
faith in that family, and there's a situation where I'm like, "Oh, she ain't going over there if I ain't with her."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Type deal. So
But not only that, you can't here's the thing, we were all 13 before, and I hate saying things like
I'm
this
still
because now
13.
I sound like my mom. I used to hate when she said that to me, like, "I was 16 before, I was," and it's, obviously as a 16-year-old, you don't wanna hear how your parents are like,
But she
"I
was
was
doing something
16
different
before,
when she was
I was,"
16.
and you don't think but now that I am that age, it's like we were all 13 before, we were all 14 before. We have done and are going to do things that parents either don't like or they're going to do it behind. Like she can leave for school one way, right?
And
As soon as she turns that corner, as soon as she walks
change
into
it.
that school, she gonna take that sweater off. She gonna
Mhm.
have that one shoulder
Mhm.
out. She gonna have her shorts on, or she not gonna change her shorts from
Yeah.
PE. She gonna roll them up so they get real, real short and put like
Yeah.
you're some things you're not going to be able to control because you can't be with them 24/7.
And it's
But I do understand the concern as a parent, and
yeah.
especially, I mean, I can't say like especially as a father, but I can imagine like as a father looking at your daughter and walking out the house and maybe some short shorts and a cold shoulder shirt. You're like, "Ooh, girl, no," because I
I
know
will.
what's out there.
I,
You can turn around and come back in the house.
it's funny. It's funny you had this. 'Cause I actually I had a conversation with my friend Kevin the other day. And we're talking about the girls or whatever, right? And I get as a father, you want to like protect them, right? But you kind of like over time, you kind of like get used to it. Cause we were talking about, cause Grayson yesterday, she was like, this is what I'm wearing. Y'all gonna
And
deal with
that's it.
yeah,
Y'all
right.
just can deal with
Like,
it.
cause Kevin kept saying, "You gonna put some pants on?" She was like, "No,"
No.
and I was like, "Kevin, it's like I have the same thing here. I don't know what it is about these little like I had to become used to seeing my daughter the way doing the like this is just who she is.
Yeah.
No matter how much I tell her, hey, go put some clothes on,
Yeah.
she's
Or
like,
the rain boots when she refused
oh
to
my
take the
god.
rain boots off. We
She
went
wore
through
those rain boots. It
it
could be
it
120
didn't it
outside.
didn't matter. It didn't matter. And no and the
Yeah.
more you pressed it,
The more she didn't
the
want to
more
do.
she was adamant
Yep.
about like
Not
I'm
wearing.
wearing the rain boots.
Yep.
I have shorts on. It is summertime. It is 104 and I still choose my
Yep.
rain boots and I'm going to double down and keep choosing them
Yeah.
because now I can see in your
Yeah.
face that you don't want me to wear them.
That's like when she was a baby, it was just diaper. All she wanted was a diaper. Then it was
Oh, when she didn't wanna wear her arms out
right.
when she was,
And
like,
then it was
3.
like long sleeves all the
I don't
time.
I don't know what happened with there. She
Long
literally
yeah.
woke up
It
one
was
morning, and we couldn't put her on a tank top, a
no,
T-shirt, if
nothing.
her arms had to be out, she was, like, not
And
having it.
then she went to the favorite no overalls.
Oh,
She
yeah,
she
she
didn't
didn't
like
like
she,
any overalls
she didn't whether
whatsoever.
there were pants, a skirt,
Yeah,
no overalls. And so
yeah.
we stopped buying her overalls. And now she at this phase where if she could wear a leotard all day, she would just be in a leotard. So it's like you just have to you have to let them be
It's
because
part of their growing up.
you don't want to block whatever they could become
Mhm.
because of what you
Or your
because of
fears.
your fears, right?
Yeah.
And if you're that fearful that someone is looking at your daughter that way, first you need to question who you're hanging around,
Or who yeah,
right?
just like the
Because if she
general
because I don't because man to man, she's 13. Whether she come to school dressed head to top in a nun's outfit or something revealing, boys gonna look at her and wonder.
yeah,
So it's not going that's not going to change the perception of her
because 'cause they're growing up.
because they're growing up. So
Mhm.
I think he wilding for that.
Yeah, agreed, agreed. But, I think that's the challenges of
Mhm, yeah,
parenthood.
yeah.
That's just the challenges of parenthood. Every generation goes through it. Not the first, not gonna be the last.
Mhm.
But she's 13. Let her be 13. I would say like try to compromise as much as possible. I know some people feel really different about I don't have to compromise. I'm the parent. But if you want to keep your child
But
safe,
the
there's
thing,
gonna come a point where you're gonna have to compromise, especially as they
but mom
become
is okay
teenagers,
with
I'm
it.
sure.
So
Well, the thing is like, but that's what mom was saying. Like, is she the asshole?
no,
Because
she's not.
she's basically saying, like, okay, up until this point, up until her daughter started to be affected emotionally and socially, she's obviously been supporting whatever he has said
Mhm.
because you you can clearly hear she doesn't want to overstep her
Yeah,
husband, right?
yeah.
Because especially as wives, like that's the last thing we want to do is overstep or make it seem like what you're saying and how we choosing to raise our child is like, we're just vetoing you what you're saying. But when she starts to see that it takes a toll on the child emotionally and socially, now it's getting to one of those things where it's like, okay, she probably has tried talking to him. We don't know. But if she's tried talking to him, tried like reasoning with him, like you need to just, I'm not saying just let her run loose, but I'm saying, babe, we need to give her a little bit of leeway. Let her be 13, let her
Mhm.
explore. And he's just very just like,
No, we
I
good.
said what I said,
Right.
and she's going to do what I
She's
say.
standing on business.
Then that puts mom in a difficult position because she's also
She's in
genuinely concerned.
she's in the middle.
Right,
Yeah.
she's genuinely concerned about her child's well-being mentally and socially. So that's important.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
people will push that to the side, but socially is important because then that could affect her mental health and her
Mhm.
emotional state.
Mhm.
So then mom is just like, okay, between you and I, this is go hang out with your friends today. You wear what's you're comfortable. And then, I'll do my part to try to make sure you're safe, protect it, and we'll do that.
Mhm.
But then that feels shitty too, because I also don't want to develop a relationship where you and I, or I'm teaching you that it's okay for us to do things behind daddy's back.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
yeah.
It's wild that you said that.
I know exactly what you're thinking right now. And I'm telling you, it puts you in a very compromising position. But that's what
Your
happens
daughter literally
when
says,
you
"Mom, don't tell dad," and you don't tell dad.
No, that's not true.
So I see the charges.
That's not true. That's not
That is
true.
true.
But that's why I said if he is constantly just like not compromising and saying no, 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 no all the time, it's like what I'm trying. I came to you. I spoke to you about it. Like, what else do you want me to do?
This triggered me because it reminded me when you bought her that 2-piece bathing suit and I said she couldn't have one.
I didn't buy it for her. Your mom bought it for her. Your mom bought her that bathing
And I
suit. I
told her
didn't buy her that
to
bathing
send
suit.
that shit back.
Okay, well, take that up with your mother. Like, your mom bought her a
You knew the
two-piece.
rules.
Goodbye. Goodbye. This has been another episode of Life After I Do. If you are not doing so already, you can follow us on all of our social media platforms.
9 months on TikTok.
Stop saying that. At Life After I Do podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Head over to our YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Head over to TikTok and follow us on TikTok. And like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram. Why are you still touching my thigh? I can't with him. Don't forget, you can also write into us at lifeafteridopodcast@gmail.com. You get a new episode every Wednesday. And then,
You can also write into us through Apple Podcast,
oh, yeah,
Spotify.
you can text us.
Yeah, you can text us on any phone app. Any phone any app where you get your podcast. You can
Yeah, we're all your digital streaming
yeah.
platforms.
You
Okay.
make it easier for the people.
Yes. But until next time,
Peace, Booskies.
peace, Fooskies.